And we're live. Welcome back to another stream, everyone. How are we all doing today? I hope you're all very, very well. And thank you for being here for this Gameweek 5 deadline stream. Midweek deadline. Football's coming thick and fast. It's been a frantic afternoon for me. Obviously, I did the preview video early today. Got that done, got that out of the way. And then there started to be some murmurs that Reece James was out tonight. And I wonder, is there any truth in this, or has someone just made this up? You never know what to believe nowadays. But yeah, as some of you probably know by now, James is out tonight, so he's not going to be playing. And I'm probably going to sell him during this stream. I still haven't had a chance to make my transfers, so I'm going to wing it during the stream. And James is going to leave my team. So that's going to be one of my transfers out. And then the second transfer is probably going to be Bailey at long last. Can't wait to see the back of Bailey. So yeah, I'm likely going to make two moves because I've got two banked. So it's going to be James and Bailey to leave my team. I'll talk a bit more later about which players are in my thinking, because there's a few that I'm considering, but I think I'm settled on who I want to get. So welcome to the stream, Miran, Ash, Daryl, S10, Kyo, Delboy, Badan, Ron, Zachary, Daniel, and many more. We've got over 1,000 tuned in already. I don't know if you guys noticed, by the way, but it was a big week for the channel. I got the verified check. If you scroll down, you'll see the little check mark by fplfocal. So that's exciting. It doesn't really mean much, to be honest, but they let you get the verified check if you get over 100,000 subscribers. I think it's to stop people basically impersonating you, but nonetheless, I got the check. So thank you for subscribing to the channel and making that a possibility. And next, I need to apply for the play button. Max says, Max renewed the membership for 10 months. Thanks for that, Max. He says, I'm also moving James. Do you think a straight swap to Diaz or downgrade to upgrade Lavia? I like the Diaz move, as long as you're not already doubled up on City, which I presume you're not. Yeah, I like the Diaz move. I think there's also the option to downgrade him, like you say, and then upgrade a midfielder, which is the route I'm going. But I like the double City defence, so I think Diaz is a good move. So I think I would roll the second transfer and get Diaz myself. So yeah, welcome to the stream, everyone. Where's everyone tuned in from around the world? I don't know if you guys know this, some of you probably do, but if you tag me in a photo wherever you're watching from, I'll retweet it. And lastly, I also have to give a shout out to my mate Chris. He messaged me seconds before I went live. I used to work with him at my old job, and before I left there to do YouTube, so shout out to Chris as well. I think I saw Harry in the chat. How are we doing, Harry? Harry, what are you doing with James? Are you selling him? Did you? I think I saw you tweeted something about James, Harry. Are you getting rid of him or are you keep him? I'm probably going to get rid. I think I'm going to downgrade him and then upgrade Bailey, because I'm sick of the sight of Bailey, to be honest. So I'm probably going to sell Bailey. I love that we've mostly got countries like Egypt, Pakistan, India, Nigeria, Canada, Ireland, and then we've got Jack from Middlesbrough. Welcome to the stream, Jack from Middlesbrough. South Africa, Croatia, Israel. Spontaz says, should I captain Salah or Haaland? That's the big question this week. Who are you guys captaining? Who have you got the armband on? I think it's between those two, and I'm on Salah myself, but it's one of those. If you knew that Haaland starts, then you'd have to go with him, right? He's the standout pick if he starts, but it's closer than that because it's not guaranteed, in my opinion, and obviously there's a chance he comes off early. The Fly Naga says, FPL Harry sent me here. Congrats, Focal 100k. Did you send people here, Harry? How did that happen? Are you not? Obviously you're not streaming, otherwise you wouldn't be in my chat. Did you finish your stream early, or are you still in Spain? Anyway, thanks for that, Harry. It looks pretty divided in chat. People on Haaland, quite a few people on Salah. Quite a few questions about James. I see Chris in the chat as well. There he is with the heart. A few people asking about James, so I think we'll do the news roundup because obviously that's big news. So let's just do a quick news summary and a chance to flex the transitions that I know Harry loves. When I showed Harry these transitions at Fest, he was like, what on earth? Anyway, so starting with Arsenal, Zinchenko is going to miss Gameweek 5 as well. Heads up to Zinchenko owners. He's not back in time for selection, so it's probably going to be Tierney that plays in fullback. Obviously, some Bournemouth news that they've sacked Scott Parker. What do you guys think about this? I think this is a really harsh decision, right? They got 3 points in Gameweek 1 against Villa. And then they played, who was it? Arsenal, Liverpool, and forget the third, maybe Tottenham. Yeah, 3 tough games. Like, you wouldn't expect them to win that, right? And they didn't. They've sacked him. Maybe it's because of consequence of what he said in the post-match conference. He was saying, like, you know, we've got a long way to go, and it was very, like, negative what he had to say. James Maddison's being assessed after a twinge in training last week. Brendan Rodgers says he's hopeful Maddis will be involved against Man United on Thursday. FYI to any Maddison owners. It sounds like it's still a bit touch and go, to quote a certain manager, Sean Dyche. I miss Sean Dyche. Yeah, obviously the big Chelsea news. Reece James misses tonight's game against Southampton. There were rumours that it was an injury of some sort, a minor injury, but apparently it's actually illness. In fact, this is definite. It's Nathan Gisson. He's like the Chelsea in the know. So it's an illness. Perhaps that's good news if you plan to hold on to James, because perhaps he's likely to be back for the weekend. But Reece James misses out. He's not going to play this game week, so he's on the chopping block for me. I'm going to be getting rid of him. And yeah, it's good of the journalist to ask Pep if Haaland's going to play or not this game week. And obviously he said absolutely fuck all about that. He just said tomorrow you'll see. So thanks for nothing, Pep. We have no idea whether Haaland will play. Obviously, it could be Alvarez that starts. It could be Haaland up top. You never know. Obviously, last season, Pep played strikerless quite a lot. Just as Ab says, from Australia, and I'm thinking of Gundogan captain. You know what? I love the Gundogan pick. I think he's a really, really good option this week. I don't know if I would captain him, but I think he's a very good pick. Obviously, he was benched last game week. And yeah, for that reason, I think he's in line for a start. And it's about as good as fixtures come, Forest at home. So I love the Gundogan pick. Got 1,700 tuned in. I'm trying to spot Harry's message. I'm guessing that he did a stream and ended early, or maybe he's still in Spain. I don't know. No, you can't still be in Spain. You did a couple of videos, didn't you? Language Oscar. Sorry, that's probably the first time I've ever sworn on stream. Do apologise. It's just Pep, right? Pep roulette. You just can't predict what's going to happen, right? You go with Salah captain because you think there's a chance Haaland's benched. Haaland probably starts, gets a hat-trick. Or you go Haaland captain because he's arguably got the best fixture of the game week, and then Pep benches him. Anyway, keep the questions coming in, and I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. And thank you again to Max for renewing the membership. If anyone's interested, by the way, it's the join button below the description, or there's Patreon as well. There's a few perks, like you get the badge by your name, early access to videos, private channel on the Discord, and so on. So thank you for that. But yeah, I need to sort out my moves on this stream, so I'll just tell you guys where I'm at the moment in terms of what I'm going to do. Let me just clear out a few tabs. Don't need that. Right, so yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of James. I think there is an opportunity. So I'm probably going to get either Saliba or Dunk. I quite like Saliba. Man United's perhaps not the best fixture. We don't really know yet. There's still a bit of an unknown quality Man United. How they'll look come game week 6. But he's benchable for Nico if required. So I don't mind the Saliba pick at all. Bournemouth at home for Nico. So I think it's going to be Saliba. And then my second move is going to be Bailey out. And it's going to be between... It's actually 3 players. Between Gross, Trossard or Rodrigo. Which one do you guys like the most? Gross, Trossard or Rodrigo? UN says, will James play or not? Not tonight. James is out for tonight's game. Gross or Rodrigo, asks Hisham. That's what I'm wondering as well. It's really a tough one. I like Trossard as well. I think he deserves a mention. They've got Estupinian, if I said that right, playing left wing back now. So that means Trossard is going to play more advanced, further forward. Probably like left forward. Oh, everyone's saying Rodrigo. I didn't realise it was so dead set. Everyone's on Rodrigo pretty much. Callum says Eze. A few people say Gross. Virtual says Trossard. I really like the Trossard pick. I'm actually going to just... I can't even like bear the thought of Trossard doing well if I don't get him in for this game week, because I think Trossard's such a good pick. But yeah, at the moment I'm on Rodrigo, so I'm probably going to make 2 moves. I'm going to get rid of James. Get rid of Bailey. Finally. I've taken like 0.3 mil loss on Bailey as well. It's absolutely brutal. Thank you to Just Azab for becoming an fplfocal member. Appreciate that very much. Thank you. Matt says no reason, just felt like it. Wait, what was it? No reason, just felt like it. I've forgotten what it was now. I've forgotten what Matt said. You'll have to remind me what it was, Matt. Oh, you mean no reason for the super chat? Okay, appreciate that, Matt. Shall I poll it? Shall I do a quick poll? I need to be careful with the polls though, because the last one I did, I accidentally left it open so that anyone could add their own answers, and it got a bit carried away. Which one? So, Rodrigo, Gross, Trossard. How do I stop people from adding their own answers? Advanced settings. Not sure. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and then I'm interested to know which one you guys like of the three. There's the poll. Ismail says, please can you say my name? Yes, I can, Ismail. Or Ishmael. Ismail. Taylor says, you crazy. Why am I crazy? Alright, I'm chucking up the poll. Here we go. Get your votes in. I mean, it's the most boring poll in FPL history. Rodrigo, Gross, or Trossard. But, you know. It's a decision I've got to make this week. Rodrigo's edging it. Gross is second. Trossard third. Okay, interesting. In my head, Rodrigo and Trossard are about even, and then Gross. I don't like that Rodrigo's not totally nailed. You know, Bamford's coming back from injury. Sinistera, you know, when he starts, someone's going to have to drop to the bench. I don't know what happens with Aronson. Does he go to the right? Does James get benched? There's a little bit of uncertainty there, but I think Rodrigo's probably the best one right now. So that's where I'm leaning as well. But good to know you guys agree. JW says Neto to Harrison, 1 free transfer. I don't think this week. Don't Wolves have a good fixture? They've got Bournemouth. I don't think I'd make that move this week. Especially if one transfer. I think that's better off rolled to me. A lot of questions about Reece James. Reece James has a bug, or he's ill, so he's out for tonight's game. So I'm going to sell him. I think I'm better off just leaving it on the transfers page, because that's where I'm going to be going. So I'm probably going to get Saliba and Rodrigo in. And yeah, it sounds like you guys are in agreement about Rodrigo. Keep the questions coming in. James isn't available. Eze against Brentford will destroy these fools, says Andreas. Yeah, I think Eze is a great pick. I tweeted about him a few weeks ago, about how I like the look of him from Gameweek 5 when the fixtures turn. It's just a shame that Zaha has picked up this injury, and I think he's still out again. So probably going to be no Zaha either. Eze or Andreas? Eze. Ings tuned in from Norway. Will Perisic play? Perisic is a really difficult one to call. If you've got him, you keep him. But I think it's a trickier decision about transferring him in or not. Because obviously played on the weekend, and he's got Sessegnon as an option. It's so hard to call how the rotation is going to play out, especially with Haaland, right? Because so far he's played all the games, fine. There's not been that many games. But of course, they play tomorrow, midweek game, and then they play on Saturday. And then what's obviously not shown here is the Champions League. So between Aston Villa and Tottenham in Game Week 6 and 7, Man City travel away to Sevilla in the Champions League. And then between Game Week 7 and 8, Man City host Dortmund. So there's going to be a lot more football around the corner for teams in Europe. So yeah, something to be mindful of. It's just very, very hard to predict. I don't think you sell Haaland. I think it's very, very risky to sell Haaland. I think what we're hoping is going to happen is if he starts against Forest, then he's an easy sell against Villa, because Spurs play Fulham, which is like a very good fixture. Plus, Kane at least looks good for a start, let alone 90 minutes. Kukurea, Saliba, or Estupinian. I'm enjoying this. I like that a lot of people are talking about Estupinian. I've been looking at him myself, Brighton's new left wing back. I think between those three, it's Kukurea. I think it's actually in the order you've said it. Donation from Delia. She says, is it worth selling James for Perisic, or who else should I get? I've already got Cancelo, Saliba, Trent and Nico. It's really hard to say of Perisic because he's such a risky one. Last week I basically said I'm not sure if he's worth the rotation risk, and he completely proved me wrong. In fact, it was at Gameweek 3 when he got the assist. So I don't hate the transfer at all, but you just have to accept there are going to be random games when he's benched and he'll come off the bench for 1-pointers. That's what personally puts me off him a bit. You know, like say if Sessegnon got injured, then I think Perisic is an absolute no-brainer. It depends if you've got one transfer or two, Delia. If you've got two, then I think downgrading James to upgrading mids the way to go, and that's what I'm doing. But no, beyond that, who to sell him for? You've got Arsenal defence already. You've got Trent, you've got Cancelo, you've got Nico. I think in your case, it's probably just worth rolling with it, as long as you've got someone who's reasonable to play instead, like Andreas in midfield against Brighton. That's not a bad fixture at all. I think you're probably better off rolling if you've got one transfer. If you've got two, downgrade him and then upgrade a mid. I'm on the Pepsi Max. Let's have a quick look at the Kings of the Game Week. I'm interested to know who you guys think it will be next. This is the Kings as it stands. The first four were Shah, Jesus, Odegaard and Firmino. Who's going to be the king for Gameweek 5? Get your answers in the chat while I catch up on some super chats. Todd's got 2 free transfers. He's doing James to Diaz and then 2 next week. He says he could do Gabriel back to James if okay. Yeah, I like that. I don't mind that at all. If not, then go to Dunk and then Kukurea to James later on. Decent. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. It's because obviously Arsenal play Man United, so there is an opportunity there to get James straight back. So yeah, I don't mind that at all. And I think Diaz is a very logical replacement. He's probably the best replacement if you don't have the likes of Trent already. Cancelo, I'm not sure even justifies it either, to be honest, because Cancelo's attacking numbers have actually been really poor. So far, from what we're seeing from Cancelo, you're just hoping for clean sheets because he's barely taken shots. I think he's taken like 1 or 2 shots. Jordan says, my team's nearly identical to yours, not deliberately. I've taken out Reece James for Dunk, Brighton defence looks good, and then Bailey to Rodrigo for obvious reasons. Yeah, same 2 moves I was considering. For me, it was between Saliba or Dunk. Very, very close. For me, I thought if I get Saliba, he's got a slightly better chance of a clean sheet this week, and then I can bench him against Man United for Nico if I need to. So that was my thinking there. Who have Brighton got? It's Leicester at home as well, which arguably isn't the best fixture. So that's why I just about edged it for me, Saliba over Dunk. But Dunk's a really good pick. Dunk, Webster, I can't go wrong. Maybe Estupinian is a good pick as well. My son Blank says Diaz to Sterling, Reece to Fofana. What do you think? Diaz to Sterling, Reece to Fofana. I've Edison, Kukurea, Cancelo, Saliba, Trent, Reece, Martinelli, Salah, Diaz, No, I wouldn't sell Diaz. Diaz has given you no reason to sell him, right? I mean, he's just come off the back of a brace and bonus points. Why would you want to sell him? I know Sterling also got a brace, but I would hold Diaz. He's playing at home as well. It doesn't feel like the week to sell Diaz. I like the Sterling pick as a differential. It's a bit of an awkward price point. And Fofana hasn't actually started for Chelsea yet, so I want to see him at least start a game. You know, I don't think it'll be this game week. Certainly not. Maybe game week 6. So no, I wouldn't make those moves. I think that's a downgrade if anything. Mr. P says, I'm done the transfers already. Wanted to know your honest thoughts, honest in caps. Thanks for your content. Robertson, Mount, Bailey. So Robertson, Mount, and Bailey. Robertson, Mount, Bailey out. James, Bernardo, and Rodrigo in. Reece James. You've sold Robertson for Reece James. Should we tell him? Hopefully it's Dan James. No, so Robertson to James, Mount to Bernardo, Bailey. James isn't going to play tonight. That's the thing. James has got an illness, so you're not going to get anything from him tonight. He might be back for game week 6. I imagine he is because he's just got a bug. He's not injured. But, I mean, it's good moves. Bernardo, fine. I could see City beating Forest comfortably. Rodrigo's a good pick. I'm probably going to pick him up myself. It's just that Robertson to James move I definitely wouldn't have made. But perhaps you couldn't have funded it otherwise. But, no, good moves. But James... the auto-moderator removed Mr. P's message. He's dropped an F-bomb in caps. But, no, it's not bad, Mr. P's. Luckily, it's just 1 week. Chris says that Harrison over Rodrigo as a differential to sell Rashford. Yeah, I think Harrison's a good pick as well. Not much between the two. Yeah, I looked at both of them. I looked at Harrison, I looked at Gross, I looked at Trossard. For me, Rodrigo just about edges it, and he's my transfer in. Aditya says, Rodrigo move, 4 mil defender and Rodrigo, or Estupin and Gross. If you have to start that 4 mil defender, then I would say the second option, otherwise the first one. Basically. You know, if you're bringing in like Nico Williams and you're playing him against City, then no chance. It has to be the second option. If they're benchable, then I like the second one more, just about. But yeah, if it's Nico and you can bench him, that's fine, because Nico's actually got 3 nice games here. Game week 6 to game week 8. Will Trippier play? I heard he should play, yeah. I think St. Maximan's a big doubt, but I think Trippier should be fine. Thanks to everyone that has tuned in so far. We've got 2,400 tuned in. Unbelievable turnout. If you are enjoying the stream, please do hit like on it and subscribe to the channel. Really, really appreciate all the support, and obviously thanks for 100k. Before we get back to answering more of your questions as well, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Fanslide. I know a fair few of you have been playing this already. I've got Mini League and I've been playing this since the end of last season. It's basically like the first in-play fantasy football game. And it's completely free as well. So obviously with FPL, you lock in your team and then that's it, you're done. There's nothing you can do. But with Fanslide, you play like one-off matches. So I'm going to be playing the Chelsea game tonight, for example, and I'll be hosting a mini league for that. So in the description, if you want to join my mini league, that's there. The video on screen is from the Community Shield. I brought on Trent, and I think I had Trent double points in the Community Shield, and he went on to score. And the other day in the Man United game, I had Bruno triple as well. So yeah, it's really fun, totally free. It is 18 plus, but it is completely free. So I highly recommend it. So link in the description to play Fanslide. Free in the App Store, and hopefully see you guys in my mini league. Abdullah says, Mendy or Sanchez in goal? Mendy or Sanchez in goal? Let's have a look at the clean sheet odds. Chelsea have got a 37.5% chance, so I would say Chelsea over Sanchez. We're at Brighton, 29%. Yeah, I'd go with the bookies, 37.5% chance for Chelsea. So I would start Mendy. It's quite a lot to spend on a goalkeeper double up, unless you're choosing which one to actually buy, like on a wild card or something, in which case that's a different question. Then it'd probably be Sanchez long term. Did I miss a super chat? I'm just scrolling back up. No, I think I got them all. Did I think that's all of them. Israel says, sell James. I'm personally selling James, so I'm going to lock my transfers in a minute. I'm going to probably sell him for Saliba, and then I'm probably going to finally get rid of Bailey for Rodrigo. I do have the option to go to Gross or Trossard here over Bailey, but it's probably going to be Rodrigo that comes in. And I'll stick with the 4-4-2. Carlo says, recent Erdegaard out, Saliba and Luis Diaz in. Yeah, I like those moves actually. For a -4, I probably wouldn't do it. But if you can make those moves for free, then yeah, those are good moves, Carlo. Not for a -4. It's not the end of the world if you can play someone like Andreas this week. But I've got 2 transfers banked. So for me, I feel like there's more of an opportunity to spend those and actually do something a bit exciting. Because also, let's be honest, it's been not boring, but everyone's got the same bloody players. Like everyone's got 8 or 9 in the same starting 11. Everyone's got the template. So I want to shake it up a bit. So I'm going to get rid of James. I guess Rodrigo's fairly template, but yeah, Saliba and Rodrigo are going to be my 2 players coming in. Right, let's have a look at the scout selection for Game Week 5. It's Game Week 5, isn't it? Game Week 5, which is as follows. They've gone for Sanchez in goal. Back for Trent, Diaz, James. Oh, they've got James. Oh, no. I didn't even clock this. I took this screenshot literally minutes before going live. The scout selection's got James. Absolutely mudded. They've got Gabriel, De Bruyne captain, Gundogan, Rodrigo, Diaz, Jesus, and Kane. Other than James, what do we think? Marcus says James to Nico Williams and Reed to Rodrigo, or Ramsdale to Sanchez and James to Saliba. If you don't have to play Nico, I would say the first option. The first option I like more if you don't have to play Nico. But yeah, I think it's not a bad scout selection this week. In fact, they've got Rodrigo. But yeah, they picked James, who obviously isn't going to play tonight. No James. I do need to lock in my transfers, though, so maybe I should do that now before it's too late. And then I'll probably just quickly tweet my team as well. As I said earlier, tag me in a photo wherever you guys are watching from. I like to see where you guys are tuned in from around the world, and I will retweet it. Right, so let me just check there's no last-minute news that I've missed out on, because that would be a disaster as well if I lock this in and there's anything that I've missed. Let's see. Oh, Reguilon's gone to Atletico Madrid. Fair enough. Not surprised, because he's third choice anyway. Right, so it's James to Saliba, Bailey and Rodrigo. Last chance. Anything else I've not considered, chat? James to Saliba, Bailey to Rodrigo. I think it makes a lot of sense this week. Both players playing at home. Good fixture. Why is James not playing? James has got an illness, so he's out for tonight's game. Ryan's watching from prison. Shout out to Ryan watching from prison with the inmates. Saliba's injured, says Jack. Don't do this to me, Jack. Why did I ask chat about last minute news and whatnot? There's no way he's injured. I can't afford Gabriel. It's got to be Saliba. Michael says you're going to regret not having Trossard. I hope not. TBL Risk says looks good. I think that's it. Confirmed transfers. All right, confirmed transfers done. There we go. So let me reload that so the fixtures are correct under the players. What have we got here then? We've got, so we start Rodrigo over Andreas. Andreas first on the bench. Nico second. That's it. Looks good. Take a quick screenshot. Stick it on Twitter. Windows sound. Don't know if you can hear that. Game week. All right, I'll just quickly tweet this because I like to share what I'm doing before the deadline if possible. Oh, Harry's gone James to Saliba. He made the same move. Harry, copying me. Game week 5. Lock. So what was it? It was James, get the arrow, to Saliba and Bailey to Rodrigo. Salah captain. I haven't really talked about the captaincy much. I'll do a captain poll in a second and see where you guys are sitting at the moment in terms of captaincy. But yeah, if you're not following me on Twitter, fplfocal. Bracetti says, good team. Thank you, Bracetti. Chimp Flipper Jr. says, Dunk or Estupinian? So Dunk is basically the reliable one for minutes. He's going to play 90 every week. Estupinian probably will, but you never know with Potter. You know, he's got Mitoma, who can play left wing back. He's got Solly March, who can play there. He's played there before. So a little bit of a gamble, but I think he's probably fine because Brighton don't have midweek games like other teams do. They play, obviously, this midweek, but then after that, it's just the weekends. And he looked really good in his debut. I watched some random compilation on YouTube earlier, and I was like, oh, he actually looks really good. But I didn't end up getting him myself. But I think he's a good option. So it just depends on your risk tolerance, basically. Dunk is the safer lower ceiling pick. Estepinian looks like he's got an attacking return in him. Oh, that's to my wrong team. Refresh. There we go. So that's my team for this game week now. So yeah, James has left the team to Saliba, and Bailey has finally gone 0.3 mil less to Rodrigo. Good riddance to Bailey. Although maybe it's Gerrard's fault for not actually starting him, because I think he should be starting in that team. De Bruyne for Salah. I don't think this is the week that I would sell Salah personally. Right, I know last game it was brutal, right? 9 goals. Salah somehow uninvolved in all 9. But he's not suddenly inherently a bad footballer, right? He's still an absolutely quality player, and he was getting into good positions, missed an absolute sitter. On another day, he gets a return or two, so I think it's fine to hold Salah. And if we look at FPL Review's projections, he's actually top for Game Week 5. This is the projections for this game week. Salah's actually top. Nimi says -4 Saka to Diaz. Not for a -4, no. I wouldn't make that move for a -4. You know, it's not a bad move for free, but not for a -4. Jonas says, why sell James if he's only out for 1 game? Is it the price drop? I just feel like there's decent points to be gained in selling him. You know, otherwise I'm forced to start Andreas, but instead now I can start Saliba and I can start Rodrigo. So I think it's worth it for me. I think there's points to be gained there. It just depends on how your team's shaped up, how many transfers you got. If I'd won transfer, I probably would have just rolled it. But I think it was an opportunity. So I'm looking for those opportunities all the time, and there's been none in the opening 4 game weeks. But it feels like a little bit of an opportunity now because James is so highly owned. You know, his ownership was, I don't know what it is now, but it was well over 40%. So yeah, it feels like an opportunity, right? FPL is a game against others in a way. It's like the world's biggest chess game against 9 or so million other managers, and you're constantly trying to outsmart them. And I think it's an opportunity, so I'm taking a chance on it. Rodrigo plays at home; he's in great form. Saliba's at home. 3 goals and an assist from Rodrigo's first 3 games. I like these next 3. Everton have been shocking. Forest have been poor as well. In terms of expected goals conceded, Everton and Forest are rock bottom, by the way. So I really like these 2 fixtures here. So hopefully that helps answer on Rodrigo. But I think Gross is a good pick. I think Trossard's a good pick as well. Harrison's not a bad pick. Being careful not to unplug the mic. Keep the questions coming in. Appreciate all tuning in. We've got about 2,700 tuned in. As I say, if you are enjoying the stream so far and the content I've prepared for it, do hit like on it and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate it. And if you're not a member of the FPLfocal Discord, link in the description to that. It's a genuinely good FPL resource. We've got things like the price changes, we've got lineups. This is all completely automated by a bot, so you can just jump in here anytime you need to get you know, whatever information that you require. Like bonus points is a good one, and you can set up alerts. So, you know, for example, if you want a reminder when the deadline's approaching, I bet you there's a lot of managers that don't even know that it's a Tuesday deadline and they're about to get burnt by that. So I'll chuck a link in the chat if you want to join. There it is. Maybe I can just pin a message, right? That'll be easier. There we go. Yeah, if you want to join the Discord, I'll be on there straight after the stream. It's going to be, I think it's going to be lively tonight because there's quite a few games on. Tonight we've got Crystal Palace v Brentford, Fulham v Brighton, Southampton v Chelsea, and Leeds v Everton. What do you reckon the score is going to be? Southampton v Chelsea. Chelsea win or an upset? TBLRIS says, who developed those bots? I did them. I made them. They're my bots. They're my babies. Super chat. Sorry, let me scroll up. Mo Omar says James to Saliba or Gabriel, or also Neto to Gross and Rodrigo. Yeah, I like James to an Arsenal player. I like that move a lot. I think in terms of James replacements, probably Diaz, I would say, is the best one. If not an Arsenal defender. Obviously Trent if you don't have Trent, but I think most people do. Yeah, I've gone for Saliba. I couldn't afford Gabriel, but I think they're actually about on par, Saliba and Gabriel. So I think I might have gone for Saliba, even if I could afford Gabriel. He just looks so good. He's got that presence about him, that aura. He's got that Van Dijk presence about him. So yeah, he looks like an absolute wonder kid. Still so young, and I think he was defender of the season in Liga last season. Quality player, bright future. So I like Saliba. And the other option was Neto to Gross or Rodrigo. I would probably not make that move. You know, Neto has a good fixture this week, so I wouldn't make that move. I would just leave the second move. Neto, by the way, he got an assist last game week, and then it was after VAR checked and chalked off. So I feel for the Neto owners because it wasn't his foul in the build-up. Jason says, thoughts on Walker in this week? Yeah, I like Walker in. Yeah, good pick. I think he's only like 5.1, 5.2. Can't ask for much more. You know, he's right now he's nailed. I think I read that City are going to sign Akanji, but he's a centre-back, isn't he? Is that right? Akanji from Dortmund. I think he's a centre-back, so he's probably not competition. They got Gomez, but he hasn't actually started a game yet. Sorry if I did miss any super chats. I don't think I have. Jack Milner says, already done Mount to Gundogan. Was going to do Robert Neto to James and Gross for a -4. Should I stick or go to Diaz and Saliba and Gross? Worried about team value. I wouldn't worry too much about team value, really, at all. You know, I've taken a 0.3 mil hit on Bailey. It's not the end of the world. You know, if you look at the greatest manager of all time, Fabio Borges, I did an interview with him last season, and he said he literally doesn't care about price changes. He just makes his moves right before the deadline, because then you've got the most possible amount of information. So I think prices, you know, money, team value is a little bit overhyped. It is important, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. So we were going to do Robert to James, which obviously you don't now. Do you stick? I would stick with Robbo and Neto, yeah. I don't think you have any reason to sell them. They've got a good fixture each, so I would just stick with that. I think I am caught up. We were going to do a captain poll, weren't we? Before we do, can you guys guess who the most transferred in player is this week? Most transferred in. Hajir says, hi, Focal. Hey, Hajir. Sanchez in for Ramsdale. Don't think I'd make that move this week. It's a very luxury move to sell a goalkeeper. Most transferred in players. Pierre says Rodrigo. James reckons it's Gross. Dingus reckons Rodrigo. Adam says Gundogan. Jack reckons it's Haaland off the back of his hat-trick. Delia reckons Diaz. Most transferred in player is in fact Diaz. In fact, let me refresh this because it's very, very close. Is it still the same? It's not. Gross is now the top player. 716,000 managers have picked up Gross ahead of the deadline. Luis Diaz is now second. He was first before I started the stream, but Gross has snuck ahead. Haaland's third. Rodrigo fourth. Saliba, Odegaard, Perisic, Mitrovic. And most transferred out is Zinchenko. Makes sense. Obviously, he's going to miss this game week as well. So, yeah, he's a sell if you've got him. Almost 1 million have sold him. 500,000 have sold Salah. What do we think about that? Is that an emotional response, or is Salah washed? I don't know. I don't agree with selling Salah. He's my captain. So that tells you everything you need to know about what I think about Salah and people selling him. Cancelo third as well. I think that's very harsh. Nottingham Forest at home. I know his attacking numbers haven't been great, but it's a very, very good fixture. And as we saw, City top of the clean sheet odds, so I don't think I would be selling Cancelo myself. CFJW says James and Bailey to Gross and Saliba for a -4. Yeah, I like it. I think those are two very good moves. I would do it. It's a very justified -4. You're getting rid of James, who won't play, and you're getting rid of Bailey, who may not even start. And yeah, he's just a no-go as an asset. So yeah, get rid of both. Good moves. Afif says, in Salah we trust. Exactly. You know what? If I knew Haaland starts, then it's a very, very close decision. I'd be tempted to put it on Haaland, but there's just that small element of doubt. You don't know what the hell Pep's going to do week in, week out, do you? In my opinion, Haaland's going to be benched to one of the next two. It's just so hard to say which. Gameweek 6 probably makes more sense. But they both have their merits, right? Because it's an easier fixture this week. But Gameweek 6 is before midweek Champions League away. Very, very hard one to call. And yeah, no one can predict Pep. Impossible man to predict. Captain Poll, says John. Alright, we'll do a Captain Poll. Bear with me. Straw poll. Great poll. So who are the main options this week? Who is your captain for Game Week 5? So Salah is an option. Haaland. We'll chuck in De Bruyne. We have to chuck in Son and Kane. Who else? Trent. And other. I think that's good enough. Hopefully I haven't set it up wrong this time so that people can add their own answers like last time. Alright, get your votes in. There's the poll. I'll just spam it in the chat again. Yeah, get your votes in. Let's see how you guys are looking for captaincy this week. Results. Right, so, oh, it's close. It's very close. Oh, it's so close. This is going to be a very divided week. You know what? This could be a very big swing game week if you land on the right side of it. You know, imagine if Salah blanks again, Haaland hauls, or vice versa. Haaland's benched or something, and Salah, you know, bounces back. This could be a very, very big swing week. Big swing week. So, yeah, interesting. But Salah, marginally top. Wait, 16% voted other. Who's the other? Oh, Jesus. I forgot Jesus. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so let's just assume that most of other is Jesus. Yeah, Jesus is a good shout as well. Not a single vote for Son. Not surprised, really. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So it looks like Salah's marginally the most favourite, then Haaland, and then Jesus, then De Bruyne. Right, how long have we got? Less than 15 minutes till the deadline. Reminder to make your transfers, lock in your team, captain on the right player, vice captain on the right player. Oops, I've got it wrong. I need to bench Salah and it's captain Nico. There we go. I like triple captain Nico. Is that good? I think we're good to go. Imagine if the website crashed now and that was like my team. That'd be absolutely brutal. No, not funny. Let me put him back on. Right, Salah, on you go. Not triple captain. That was something I was thinking about doing as like a 100k celebration. I was going to let you guys pick my triple captain, but don't know. I feel like it could have gone, or not could have. It definitely would go horribly wrong if I let you guys pick my triple captain. So I'm not going to do that. James to Dunk. I like that move. I think Dunk's a really, really good option. Webster as well, really good option. I like the Brighton defenders, but the thing is, James is just going to miss one game. So for me, it felt worth it because I could make two moves in combination, downgrade James to Saliba and also upgrade Bailey. So I'm dealing with two problems at the same time, basically. And that's what it is. You're constantly managing your team, putting out fires, managing the problems. And that's part of the problem this season. They've priced players so generously that a lot of managers don't even have problems to deal with. We've seen people burning transfers like back-to-back weeks, which is just madness to me. Mark says Gundo or Foden for Mount for Gameweek 5 and then Diaz Gameweek 6. Oh, that's really tough to call that one. Gundo or Foden. I think Gundogan just about edges it. He was benched on the weekend, so he starts against Forest in my opinion. I think Gundo just edges it, but they're both very good picks. Rashford or Gross for just 1 week. Who do Man United have? They've got Leicester. For 1 week, probably Rashford, if you're planning to wildcard straight after. Leicester just don't look like ever keeping a clean sheet right now, so... Did I miss a super chat? Hang on, let me scroll up, sorry. CFJW says, Gross and Saliba or Rodrigo and a 4.5 mil defender. I can't do Saliba and Rodrigo. So Gross and Saliba or Rodrigo and a 4.5. If you don't have a Brighton defender already or Sanchez, then I would probably do Rodrigo and Webster, the second option. They're honestly about on par though. You're in the exact right line of thinking there with those two combinations. They're both very, very good combinations. I'd say the second one edges it. If you don't already have Sanchez or a Brighton defender, then I'd go Webster and Rodrigo. Otherwise, the first one, Gross and Saliba. Donation from Delia, thank you. She says, as an Arsenal fan, what do you think about Aubameyang's return at Chelsea? Do you think he'll ever be a good FPL? Is Aubameyang back? Is that confirmed? It's an it depends what they price him at. They'll have to price him very, very low to be an option. Because, you know, we've seen him like 10 plus in FPL before and he was a no-go then. Could be an interesting one if he nails down a spot. You know, Havertz has been really poor so far this season, so they really do need a striker. So, yeah, I think Aubameyang could end up a good pick, but we'll have to see how they do. He's certainly in wait-and-see territory. You know, maybe after the next 4 here. You know, give him these 4 game weeks, and then it's a nice run of games. Crystal Palace, Wolves, Villa, Brentford, Man United, Brighton. But it depends what they price him at. You know. Really, they should price him somewhere around Jesus' price, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just cock it up completely and they put him like 8.5, 9 mil. Pratius says Aubameyang's almost confirmed. Oh, fair enough. Good to see Pratius still in the chat after all this time. He's been a long time tuner into streams. Does that even make sense? Long time tuner. Gundogan captain shout. It's a very, very bold one from captaincy, but I don't hate it. I think Salah and Haaland are better shouts, but I don't hate it at all. Yeah, I think it could be a very, very comfortable win for City. 3-4-0, I reckon. James to Saliba for a -4. Not for a -4. Sell James for a -4. Play Andreas. Play Andreas. Rako Gumi, thanks for donation. He says, I've used 1 free transfer for Castagna to Walker. And I've got one other. Should I roll or do Dewsbury Hall to Mateo Nunez from Wolves or Zinchenko's to Saliba? It depends who you have to start in Zinchenko's place. You know, if you're playing like Nico Williams against City or something, then I would take the -4. You know, or if you're forced to play Archer or some random forward like that, Greenwood, whatever, then I would take the -4. Sorry, then I'd make the second transfer. Otherwise, I would just stick with it in all likelihood. You know what? I don't know how long Zinchenko's out for, though. Let me check what Premier Injury says. Because I think you can make the case for doing it, actually. Arsenal, Zinchenko. Late fitness test. Yeah, it depends who you start instead. I think you can probably get away with it, unless you're having to start someone who you don't want to start, like Nico, like I said. In which case, then, yeah, I'd make the move. Because he could miss just 1 week. Rugby football sports fan says Zinchenko's back next week. Best Foot says, should I roll? And he sent a link. Should you roll? Let's have a look. I don't tend to look at teams like this because it's a bit messy to get up on the screen. Hang on. should you roll? Saliba, Zanka, and Rodrigo. But I don't know who you're selling here. That's the problem. So it's hard to say if you should roll. Zanka, I'm not a massive fan of. I think he started the last game, but I'm not a big fan. Nah, not for me. Not for a -8. It's not worth a -8. Never. That -8 is very unlikely to be repaid, so I wouldn't make that -8 if it were me. Tyler says, will Nunez start for Liverpool? That's a good question. So Nunez has served his 3-match suspension now, so he's back and available to play. But that's the question. Does he come back into the 11? Firmino's just come off the back of 2 goals and 3 assists, so arguably he doesn't deserve to be benched. So I would say Nunez probably doesn't start. It'd be very, very harsh of Firmino to bench him. Flandy says, what's for dinner? Probably a chicken curry for dinner. But I need to decide which game to watch. Which game are you guys watching tonight? 4 games on tonight. And how many players have you guys got playing tonight? It's Crystal Palace v Brentford, Fulham v Brighton, Southampton v Chelsea, and Leeds v Everton. Yeah, how many players have you guys got playing tonight? Thoughts on Bailey to grow, says Rajesh. Yeah, I like the move. I would do that move. Most people watching Chelsea. Hang on, BT Sport have got all games. Is that right? In the UK? Yeah, I've just got Cucurella tonight now with James missing tonight's game. If you missed it, just a quick recap. Reece James is out for tonight's game, so have a look at your team and see who you have to play instead of him if you are a James owner. You might get away with it. You don't necessarily have to sell him. But in terms of my transfers this week, I've sold James for Saliba and Bailey to Rodrigo. Rakagumi says, Dewsbury holds to Mateus from Wolves or Zinchenko to Saliba. Zinchenko to Saliba. The second one I like more. Simon says, would you get Dunk or Estupiñán? Thanks and good luck. So, basically, in a nutshell, Dunk's the safer pick. They do aim set pieces at him, so there is a chance he gets a goal or 2 throughout the season, the occasional bonus. Estupiñán, he's playing in left wing back, so he's got a lot of attacking threat. Looked really good last game. I watched some highlights earlier from his debut, or his starting debut last week, and he's a really exciting player. There is just a slight risk that Potter benches him at some point, but if you want the more exciting pick, then it's definitely him. So it just depends on your risk tolerance, and if you are okay if there is a random benching here and there. So yeah, it's one of those, risk tolerance. I think he's really flying under the radar. I think he's only like a fraction of a % owned, but could be a quality pick. Yeah, one on my watch list for sure. Is Haaland starting? Impossible to know. No one knows the City lineup. I'll have a very quick look in case there's any last minute leaks and whatnot, but City obviously don't play today, so we'll get absolutely nothing as far as they're concerned. There is a guy on Twitter who predicts the Spurs lineup, and he's been very reliable so far, and he's got Perisic starting for those of you that have Perisic. Right, let's see here. Nah, nothing. What's that a photo of? What is that? Don't know what that is. Right, a few more minutes. Keep the questions coming. Fab the Turtle says, Captain Martinelli. Huge shout. I'm just going to put the predicted points on screen one more time before the deadline. I think all of these are good picks for captaincy, but I think it has to be between Salah and Haaland personally. But those of you that watch the Captain series on my channel will know there are a few others that they've picked up. A few of them have gone for De Bruyne. One manager went for Martinelli, actually. One went for Rodrigo. Vian says, thank you for such top content. Thank you, Vian, for the donation. Appreciate that. Thank you, Vian. Just checking I didn't miss any other super chats. I think I'm all caught up. Dingus says 2 minutes. Final reminder. Let me just refresh and make sure that my team has saved. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Walter says Trippier to Emerson. I think Trippier's a hold. If you can get away with benching him this week, I think Trippier's a hold. I really like Newcastle's fixtures. Game week 6 onwards. James out for a -4. Probably not for a -4. If you've got someone like Andreas who you can play instead, then I probably wouldn't take that hit. The boss says, "What's good, Oscar? Sorry I'm late." Yeah, just a bit late. I've got a minute till the deadline. I'm very well, thank you. It's been a good stream. James is now orange flagged. Oh, there we go. They've updated it. Yeah, James obviously not going to play in tonight's game for Chelsea. Apparently it's illness, so you'd imagine he's back this weekend unless he's really ill. 2,500 tuned in. Final reminder, if you have enjoyed it, please do hit like on the stream. I hate to ask, but it makes a massive difference for the YouTube algorithm. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I post 4 or 5 videos every game week, and I tell you what, it's been an absolute nightmare to try and squeeze in 4 videos before this Tuesday deadline, because game week 4 ended on Sunday, right? That's 4 videos to do in like 2 days. But we did it. All 4 videos posted, so thank you for watching my videos and subscribing if you are a subscriber. I appreciate you all. Tinash says locked. That's it. That is the deadline. It is 6 o'clock in the evening UK time. We are an hour away to the first games of the game week, and we made it. That is it. Bilbo says, "I've ruined my captain." You can't say that. Yeah, you don't even know what's happened, right? Mohammed says, "Are you still on the Pepsi Max?" Oh, green screen's gone through it. But I am. I'm still on the Pepsi Max. FPL Cupster says, "When are you wildcarding number 1?" I'm undecided. I think between game week 8 and 9 is a good wildcard opportunity. I don't know if I can look at the fixtures now or not. FDR, does that work? Yeah, we can. In game week 9, if you look here, it's a 2-week pause. This is when teams play on international duty, so there is a good opportunity there to wildcard if your team needs it. But obviously right now I don't know if my team's going to need it or not. But we do have to use our wildcard before we get to the World Cup, because during the World Cup everyone gets unlimited transfers, and that is after game week 16. So you see here, game week 16 is the 12th of November, which is my birthday, by the way. And game week 17 is the 26th of December. So there's like 6 weeks there. So that's obviously during that we get the unlimited transfers. So that's something to be mindful of as well. And that international break between 8 and 9 does come perfectly between game week 1 and the World Cup. So yeah, that is an opportunity to do it. Mic check. Mic check. Is the mic working? Tricked me. What's up with the mic? Is the audio cutting? Can you hear it now? Laggy. Oh no. Is it good now? I'll unplug it and plug it back in. It's working? Is it okay now? Is it good now or not? It's fine now? It's working good? Seems fine. Wait, I can't hear you. No, I think. Fine. I'll keep talking and tell me if it's fine or not while I'm talking. I'll just unplug it and plug it back in if it's... Daniel says your audio's fucked. Thanks, Daniel. Is it okay now or not? It's back now. It worked fine, mate. Okay, good. To be honest, right, it's the deadline anyway, so I haven't got much more to stick around for. Has anyone got any more questions? And then maybe we'll find a stream to raid. Final reminder, if anyone isn't in my Fanslide mini league, link at the top of the description to join that. It's a completely free game. Really, really fun. You play in play. So I'm going to be playing for the Chelsea game tonight. Completely free app. And yeah, if you want to join my mini league, link is in the description. So I'll see you for that. Hopefully the audio is okay now. But yeah, it's really good. You pick your team, you just slide your players on, you score points in play based on how they do. Strongly recommend it. Fun game. Audio still broken. Alright, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to find a stream to raid, and then we'll call it a day. So who should we raid? Let's have a look. FPL, who's live? Right, live. Let's have a look. Mike's cutting out. Test, test, test. Now the audio stopped to me. I can't hear the music. All right, what we'll do, we'll find a stream to raid. Who should we raid? Who's this? The FPL duo. Should we raid them? Who are these guys? Should we raid the FPL duo? Who should we raid? I'm getting trolled. That was well coordinated if that was a troll. Who should we troll? Who should we troll? Who should we raid? Oh, I know who we'll raid. We'll raid FPL Juice. FPL Juice, definitely. These guys are really cool. I was meant to go on their show a couple of weeks ago, but I got sick, so I couldn't make it. But we'll go raid FPL Juice. Really, really good show. It's the only in-studio FPL show as far as I'm aware, and they're really funny. They've got FPL Plonker on, which is the one in the hat. And then, FPL Penguin might be on as well. And then that's Ash. They're really, really funny guys. So we'll go raid these guys. Tell them fplfocal sent you. And thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I hope you have enjoyed it. As I say, do hit like on it. If you enjoyed it, hit subscribe. If you're new to the channel, and I'll see you over at FPL Juice. Focal out.